There we go.
Hi, I'm Colin from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and today I'll be doing the handover on the Swift Bolero 722 FB. So on the driver's side of the vehicle, so these lockers open with the round-headed key. So you've got one that drives the cab, and one for all your lockers on the motorhome. So in here you've got a main 40 amp fuse to this side. You've got your leisure batteries under here, so you just screw these white covers off, and you've got your battery charger to this side, and then you've got storage underneath your bench seat in your lounge. Moving further back, you've got your LPG, liquid petroleum gas. So again, opens with the same key, and in here you can fit two 6-kilogram bottles. To get the pigtail on the bottle, it's a left-hand thread and hand tighten, turn on at the top of the bottle, and then if you just press this green button for 3 seconds, once you've turned it on, it allows the gas through into the van through the crash valve. Always make sure that the bottles are tied in when you're traveling, and turned off as well, because if you were in a collision, it's much safer to have your gas turned off than turned on. And then further back, you do have your hookup points. So get your hookup lead, lift the collar, slide on, and then that is the vehicle hooked up. Always hook the vehicle up first and then the point, as we wouldn't want you walking around with a live lead in the rain. And then coming back to the back of the vehicle, your toilet's in there. This is where all your toilet waste ends up, into the cassette. So you lift the handle and the cassette will come out the vehicle. Got telescopic legs there, so you can drag it along the site once it is full if it's too heavy. And then empty, if you take the grey cap off, go to your waste disposal point, which is normally beside or behind the toilet block. Press this button, allows a bit of air in, gives it a consistent flow, stops it glugging. Tip it away. Once you've tipped it, put some water in, give it a slosh around and tip away again. And then if you're using the liquid form of chemical, pour it into the cap, a cap full straight into here, and it's ready to go back into the van. If you're using the tablets, pint of water in here, push it back into the vehicle and drop the sachet of the tablet down into the cassette, and that'll break up into the liquid. If you are struggling to get the cassette out, where it won't pull out, it's because the blade on the bowl of the toilet inside is open. It must be closed, but I'll show you that once we're inside. Come around the back of the vehicle, you've got a high level brake light, your reversing camera, and then this van's had the added extra of a bike rack put on. So you've got two bike racks here. So you've got your rails to put your bike wheels on, and then these go through the spoke and tie the wheel to the rail, and these go through the crossbar. So bike 2 being the furthest one, and bike 1 to secure them to the van. Coming further round, so coming off the passenger side of the vehicle, you've got underneath the bed here, and then this is just your rafter bar, so this goes in the middle of your awning for extra support. You've got your fresh water intake here, so this is lockable by the round-headed key again. If you take that out, put a hose pipe in there until it overflows, or until you're happy there's enough water on board. You can see your levels on the main control panel. If you are going wild camping, you have to take a full tank of water with you. If you go into a site, take a maximum of 20 litres, as this allows you to have a better payload, and it makes your diesel consumption less, so it means it's better on fuel. And then here you have a 12-volt point, which is for a submersible pump. So you put your submersible pump 2 pins in here, drop your submersible pump into the aqua roller bucket, and put the other end into the filler, and then that means you can fill from an aqua roller bucket. Should you not be able to get a hose pipe to the vehicle, you can bring water in a container, and it'll suck it out the container and put it into the main tank. This is your vent for your Aldi heating, so just make sure it isn't obstructed in any way. It just allows the nasties from the boiler out. You've got your 2 fridge vent covers, your awning light and your awning. And then at the passenger door, you've got your diesel, which opens with the main ignition key. And then on the slam panel, you've got your tyre pressure, so 5.5 bar all round, which is equivalent to 79.5 psi all round. Underneath the passenger seat is a jack and a brace, a tow knife and a screwdriver in this box here, which is your toolkit. and then underneath the floor is where the engine battery lives. So if you ever needed to get to the engine battery, you lift this cover off to remove or replace the engine battery. Your bonnet release is on the side here. If you just pull that, we'll go and have a look quickly underneath the bonnet. And then the secondary catch, which is just here, and put the stay on there. You then have your Alco, so don't go off this plate, go off the Alco one. It's 4250 gross vehicle weight. You can, and then the vehicle, if it had a tow bar on and was to tow, can't exceed 6 ton train weight. And then you've got your front and back axle weights and your chassis number there. You've got your oil filler and oil dipsticks for checking your levels here. Your paint codes on the front there. You've got your brake fluid, your power steering fluid, your radiator fluid, but the main one you're going to need, which is your screen wash here. Just top that up, and then should you ever need to jump start the vehicle, you'd put your black earth lead on here, and you'd put your positive onto there, which is your red lead. So above the door you've got your main control panel. So this side is all your 12 volt and your levels, and this side's your Aldi heating and hot water system. We'll start off with this one first. So if you turn on here, it's saying that the battery we're using is in the back of the vehicle, which is of course your leisure battery, and we are hooked up, and mains 240 volt is on board. If you press your cabin light button here, all your lights come on, and then they all are individually switched around the vehicle. You've got view levels, so that'll view your leisure battery reading, your vehicle battery reading, your wastewater and your fresh water. Same, we've got half a tank, so we've got half a tank. Your leisure battery's at 13.5 volts, your engine battery's at 12 volt, and your water pump there, you must put your water pump on to use any tap on board, because this will bring the water to the tap, otherwise you won't get any water through, or you'll just get a dribble of what's already in the pipe. And then you've got your awning light, which is your light just above the hab door here. So if you're sitting underneath the awning, you can put your light on. Come into here, so once you've turned this on, you get this menu here. So this is your hot water and heating. So we're on at the minute, so we've got off and on. So at the minute, showing the house with the thermometer in, that is the temperature of the van. So you're at 22 degrees, and then you can turn it up to 30, or you can turn it down to any level you want it to be, and it'll tell you. So you can set it to 30, and then it'll tell you, if you go back, that it's at 22.5 degrees at the moment, but it is going to 30, like so. Next is your hot water. So again, this is at 22.5 degrees. So you turn it on, and that's heating your water. Moving along, you've got gas. So if you are on while camping, you would just be using gas. So you turn that off or on. So you turn it on if you're while camping, because you wouldn't have any other energy source. And then if you use the arrow again, you've got electric. So you've got electric off, so if you were on gas you wouldn't have the electric on, or if you were on a site, you can have one is 1 kilowatt of electric, 2 is 2 kilowatts of electric, 3 is 3 kilowatts of electric. So on most sites in this country you can use 2 and 3, but abroad you might have to use 1 and 2. Or you can have the gas and electric on together, which will double your heating time for the van and the water, and heat the van and the hot water in about 15 minutes. So if you're desperate for a shower, you can put the gas and electric on together. In the cupboard above the lounge, just behind your driver's seat, is your Sergeant power supply unit. So in here you've got all your MCBs and RCDs, so if a hairdryer or a kettle trips the van out, try here before you try your site. You've got your system shutdown button, which you can press if you're leaving the vehicle for any length of time, and it'll stop any battery drain on the leisure side of it. And then you do have your 12 volt fuses, so it is a good idea to carry some spare blade fuses just in case they do blow. You can replenish the fuse. And then you've got these, your charger and your heating system. These will only work So these buttons will only illuminate on mains 240 volt, but it doesn't mean that your heating and hot water won't work on gas, because it will, but your charger will distribute the charge between the leisure battery and the vehicle battery when hooked up. To operate your Thetford fridge, so if you turn on here, the O in Thetford will go blue, which means it's on, and then it's on automatic energy selection. So at the moment it's picked up that we are hooked up, so it's going to hook up being the plug. If I was to take the hookup out, it would go to gas, and if I was to start the engine, it would go to the 12 volt battery setting, which isn't your leisure battery, it's your vehicle battery. When the engine is running, it sends a feed from the alternator to the fridge to keep it cool. So this isn't designed to cool the fridge, this is designed to keep the temperature as it was when driving. So if not, if you wanted to do a manual selection, you would press this button here. So we've got a battery there and it showed a spanner and a code 10. That's because the engine is not running. So with the battery, the idea here is that if you're lucky enough to keep this at home or storage yard with mains electric hookup, hook it up the day before, allow it to cool the fridge down, put your shopping in, go to bed, allow your shopping to get nice and cool, and then when you do start, if you're on automatic, you don't need to do anything. If you're not, put on the battery setting, and then it doesn't matter if you travel half an hour or a fair distance, your shopping should be nice and fresh when you arrive on your site. And then you can either go from the battery to gas. If you are while camping, you'd have to use gas, and then this is just your temperature, so 1 bar being the warmest to 5 bar being the coolest. And then part of winterizing as well, if you, or when you're not using the van, if you just clean your fridge out, but then you don't want to shut the door because you're trapping the air in, and that air is going to become smelly and mouldy and nasty. So what you want to do is underneath both of these, you've got these little grey toggles. So what you need to do with this little fella is put them in there and attach it to here. And what it'll do is it'll keep the fridge and freezer door open and allow ventilation in and out the freezer to stop any air building up. In your kitchen area, you've got a microwave which is mains electric, so the socket for that is probably above it. Oh, it's down the side. So here's the main isolation plug for the microwave. It is just a main household microwave, so if you ever have to replace it, it's just a household microwave, and it is only mains electric on 240, so don't think it'll work with you not being hooked up, because it won't. And then below you have your 3 gas rings, which look like so, and then 1 electric hot plate here. So that does this one here when on hookup, so on mains electric. But do be careful, if you've had any of this on for any length of time, you allow it to cool before you put the glass lid down. And then below you do have your grill, and below that you have your oven. So that's your oven lid as well. So take the grill pan and the oven shelves out when travelling, as this can rattle. And then below that you've got your isolation for your electric hot plate, and in this corner here you've got your gas tap isolation. Any problems with gas, turn off at the top of the bottle. These are mainly for when the vehicle is habitation serviced. And then in your wardrobe area you have your Aldi expansion tank. So this holds the Aldi antifreeze liquid, which runs through your heating system to heat the vehicle. When it's off, it will show very close to minimum, which makes you think, oh, I best top it up. Don't top it up until you've turned it on. Turn it on, because when you do turn it on, it actually goes up. So it doesn't actually go down or stay the same, it'll go up. So you could top it up to max, and then before you know it, it's up here. So always check the level by turning it on and allowing it to get the temperature before you top the antifreeze up. And if you did need to top it up, so if you take this cover off, and then you take this cap off here, you can then get the Aldi antifreeze liquid and top it up. This little pipe here is just a breather pipe to allow the air into the liquid to stop it from getting too hot and getting too pressurised in there. You've also got in your wardrobe a hanging rail and some space below, and then under your bed is where your boiler lives. In here, so there's your Aldi boiler. It holds 10 litres of water at any one time. In the winter, or when you're not using it, you'll want to drain this down, but especially in the winter you don't want to leave any water that can freeze in here, because if this breaks it's very expensive to repair and it isn't covered under warranty. So you've got this little toggle here. When it's lying down, it's holding water. When it's up like so, it is draining off. So stand that on end like so. Stand it up, not like that, because when it's down it's holding water. So stand it up so it's vertical, and the water will spew out the van underneath. So you'll just see water draining from underneath the chassis, and that is just the 10 litres of water that the boiler's held. So come in with no electric and do that. Don't even put the pump on, don't put the control panel on, just lift that. Open your waste and your fresh. Open all your taps to the middle position of the mixer to stop any air from building up and causing an airlock, and take your shower head off and allow the shower hose to lie in the shower tray to stop any water freezing in the bends of the pipe. And then when you do come to reuse it, if you lie it down like so, fill the vehicle with water outside over there. Come in, put the pump on, go to the cold side of the tap first, you'll get automatic cold water. Go to the hot side. This is when it will then start drawing the water from the main tank to the boiler. It'll cough, splutter, make all sorts of noises, and what it's doing is it's just priming this boiler, so it's filling it up from bottom to top. Once it hits the top, it then starts coming out to the taps. Once you get a steady flow on one tap, i.e. the kitchen tap, go to the bathroom tap and the shower, and then the system is primed for the season. But also underneath here you've got storage, and your tables lives in there. Your fold down table, which just opens up exactly like an ironing board with 2 legs, and then you can put that at the front of the vehicle or outside should it be a lovely day. And then in your bathroom you've got your Fefford toilet. To operate, press this button here, make sure the pump's on, and it will fill. So the blue button will fill your bowl with flush. And then you've got the blade, also known as the trapdoor. If you push that to the right, it'll open the blade and allow the waste into the cassette. Like I was saying from outside, if this is in the open position like it is now, the cassette won't come out. It must be closed to get the cassette out. And then on the back of the toilet you've got a diagram of a cassette. The wheel will go red once the cassette is full and needs replenished and needs cleaned out, taken out the van, cleaned and replenished with chemical. Got a heated towel rail here, which makes this room get lovely and warm. Your windows, so open the toggles, push it out, and to keep it out, turn these black wheels, tighten, and this will keep the window out. And then you loosen it to bring it in. Make sure all skylights and windows are closed when you're travelling, as they're just plastic, and a good gust of wind will just rip them off the vehicle. Blackout blind, and you've got your fly screen to keep your unwanted guests out in the summer. You've got your light here just on the side of the sink, and then your toiletry cupboard, and more toiletry cupboard, and some storage there. And then you've got your big shower cubicle. So again, take that off when you're travelling and when you're winterizing, and allow this to lie in the shower tray to stop any water getting caught in that U-bend and freezing. And then your shower screen, if you just turn the turnbuckle and allow it to be closed whilst you are travelling. Otherwise it will clash around in here, so you've got turnbuckle here and here. Make sure they're in that position when travelling, otherwise you'll hear it banging around. And to drain your wastewater on the driver's side, it's located just underneath the gas locker here. So if you just pull it off the clip, it's on a chain, and then you'll be able to turn the lever like so and drain the water off. So normally you drive over a grate or a hole in the ground on a site and drain your fresh water. This is your wastewater, sorry, not your fresh water. Your fresh water's on the driver's side. This is your waste, so this is any water that's went down a plug hole. And it's crucial in the winter that you drain your wastewater and your fresh water and your boiler completely down and leave no water inside the vehicle for frost reasons. And then located on the passenger side behind the rear wheel is your fresh drain. So you filled up here, you want to drain off, you do the same, so you drain it down and that'll let your fresh water out. So if you're leaving the vehicle for any length of time, drain it off. If you are winterizing, drain it off. And get into a practice that any time that you leave the vehicle for more than a week or so, you drain the vehicle completely off. But in the winter, when it's frosty, it is crucial that you leave no water in the vehicle. So even if it's for the week and you're going away the following weekend, there is still time for that water to freeze and cause damage. So just drain it down completely. And to open your skylights, if you push this button in, pull the bar back, you can pull it all the way, or you can put it into these grooves should you want ventilation if it is a nice day. You've got a blackout blind for on an evening, and you've got a fly screen to keep them unwanted guests out when in Scotland or anywhere when it's nice weather. And to make your bed at the front out of the lounge, you pull up, slide these forward, you've got a leg, slide them down, do the same with the other one, slide, lift up, slide forward, slide down, leg down, meet in the middle like so. And then if you use the backrest, so push the base cushion back, backrest cushion in here like so, and there you have made your double bed. But I've turned the base cushions upside down as well, as the backs of the cushion is far better to sleep on than having the lumps and bumps of the bull nose of the cushion. Like so. Under your passenger bench seat at the back behind your passenger seat is obviously storage, but you've also got this switch as well. This switch is for the 12-volt assisted fan for your Aldi heating system. So if you press that, you'll hear the fan kick in, and it'll blow the heat out of here, here, under here, and it'll just blow the heat out into the van. And these are your radiator fins, these get lovely and warm as well. The front skylight doesn't open, but you do have a blackout blind on there. So when you start the engine and you hear that solid beeping noise, it is letting you know that you are still hooked up, so don't travel and don't. So now in your cab, on the right hand side of the driver is of course your handbrake. You've got your windows, driver and passenger, and you've got your mirrors. So you've got a joystick, so you've got two on the passenger and two on the driver, which is your big mirror and your blind spot. You've got your headlight adjustments, your mode, it'll change your date and time on here. You've got your rear view camera, so it's on when going forward as well. You've got your source for the radio here, so either FM, AM, 3D or media. This will scroll through your radio channels for you. You've got menu, which goes into this screen here, so it goes into your last calls, your settings, your media player, your mess reader, your phone book, and so on, so you can dial your numbers without having to leave your hands from the wheel. You've got the voice command, so you can talk to the person in here and ask. Device found. You can ask to call whoever or play whatever. You've got your volume, there, and you've got your mute, you've got your cruise control, your lights and your indicators, your wipers this side with your stalk, so it'll tell you your various travelling times, your trip computer and so on. And here you've got your 6-speed manual gearbox with lift, the collar and up for reverse. This will lock all 3 doors, so habitation door and your 2 cab doors on an evening, and that will open them. You've got your hazard light, you've got your rear fogs, and you've got your heated mirrors. This box, being the glove bin, is lockable with the key, but you've also got your USB in there, so if you wanted to put your phone in to stream the music off it, iPod, USB, instead of having loads of CDs, you can put it in there, and then that would be on the media. You've got the FM, the AM, search for your channels this way, 1 to 6 to save them, CD here so you can eject your CD, temperature, fan speed must be on at least 1 or more for the aircon to work, which is your middle button. And you've got your distribution, so where you want the air to go, and your circulation, either recirculating air within the vehicle or bringing fresh air in. I've got another glove box, and this box is heated and cooled by the air conditioning, so if you've got any, especially when it's cooled, if you've got any sweets or chocolate for the road, instead of putting them in the fridge, put them in here, put your aircon on or your cold air, and it'll stay lovely and cool for your journey. You've also got a sat nav which you can lift out. So this will come out like so, and then you don't need any power lead, you just slot it straight back in there and it'll get power. So this is just a TomTom sat nav. I'll tell you your speed, so if you want to plan a new route, so you can go to home, you can go to your address. Don't put your home address in, put the street or the street before, just because if your vehicle is stolen, your motorhome, you don't want them to come and do your house as well. So put somewhere near that you can direct yourself home. And then you've got your recent destinations, should you have been somewhere and you want to go back to the same place. You've got your Remus cab blinds on the side windows here, like that. And you've got the same on the doors. You've got the same on that door, and you've got the same on the windscreen. So you might just have to lift the camera screen forward. Slide them out and slide the same out, and they are just magnetic, so if you slide them forward, there you are, they're just magnetic on a magnetic strip, they're closed there. But if it's going to be a blustery, windy night, hairband or bobble round here, or elastic band even, just to keep them shut, because you don't want them pinging open in the middle of the night. We would like to thank you for your business purchasing from Tyne Valley Motorhomes. Should you have any questions once you've watched your handover video, don't hesitate to contact us on 01207 272 777 or sales@tynevalleymotorhomes.co.uk. Thanks for watching.